Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. A minute ago, I uploaded another video with discussing a video from Forbes, and that was about Senator Hawley showing us the low level of the Deputy FBI Director Paul Abbott. I don't know, it was something like that is his name. He is in front of the Senate hearing committee. For a hearing, Senate committee to reauthorize 702. That is to reauthorize the FISA court section 702. That's an authorization to, some say, spying on the American citizens. Some say that, some say don't. So they come in front of the Senate for a hearing, which is the heads of FBI, CIA, and NSA. In the other video, I started with a small presentation, then I will show you the video. In this case, is going to be a video showing Senator Ted Cruz taking on this Deputy FBI Director. So let's go and see this as an introduction. I did the same thing on the other video. This comes from Gizmodo. I don't know if you pronounce it this way, but it's from today, June 13, 2023. The CIA is begging Congress to please keep spying on U.S. citizens legal. Officials from the CIA, FBI, and NSA are expected to urge lawmakers during a Senate hearing to reauthorize Section 702 of FISA. And I read all this paragraph here. High-level officials from CIA, FBI, and NSA are testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee today, asking Congress to continue allowing the agency to spy on the communications of U.S. citizens. They are urging Congress to reauthorize Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, one of the nation's most hotly contested government surveillance programs. Intelligence agencies have long cited the powerful 2008 FISA provision as an invaluable tool to effectively combat global terrorism, but critics, including an increasing number of lawmakers from both parties, say those same agencies have morphed the provision into an unchecked, warrantless domestic spying tool. The provision is set to expire at the end of this year. So we're going to have this right here, and this is, as I said, this is Ted Cruz, and with down at the bottom here, Deputy FBI Director Paul Abbott, however you pronounce him, and you're going to see how Ted Cruz is going to show us something I've been talking for some time. When FBI, CIA, NSA guys don't want to answer questions or don't want to provide you with something you might ask, they say it's confidential or it's unimportant for you, or we are ready to cooperate, but we're not going to talk to you, it's confidential. So basically I say you are a criminal, but I'm not going to provide the evidence because I'm going to do this and that. So let me show you this video and I will discuss while it's going. Let's get it going.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thanks, Senator Ossoff. Senator Cruz.
Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen, every day when I'm home in Texas, I hear from Texans who are deeply dismayed about the growing politicization and weaponization of the Department of Justice and the FBI. If you are not, every one of you should be deeply concerned about the damage being done to the integrity of the institutions in which you operate. My office here is damaging to the rule of law in our nation. Last month, a whistleblower brought to light the existence in the FBI of a report, an FD 1023, in which the informant alleges that President Biden and his family members engaged in a $5 million bribery scheme during his time as vice president. Deputy Director Abadi, is it true that the FBI has a report making those allegations?
I'm not going to comment on that, Senator.
And why is that?
I'm not going to comment straight. And why is that?
I'm just not going to comment on information we received, investigations. Or
Do you owe an
ongoing matters.
obligation to the American people to be candid about evidence of corruption by the President of the United States?
This is an area that I'm not going to get into with you, Senator.
Well, I understand.
I'm not going to get into with you, Senator. And look at Cruz.
Get into with you, Senator.
Well, I understand you don't want to, and that's why people are mad at the FBI, because you're stonewalling and covering up serious allegations of evidence of corruption from the president. Yesterday, Senator Chuck Grassley stood on the Senate floor and alleged that there are 17 recordings of this informant from Burisma, Ukrainian natural gas company. 15 of them are recordings, voice recordings of him talking to Hunter Biden. 2 of them are voice recordings of him talking to Joe Biden, Deputy Director Abate. Does the FBI have 17 voice recordings laying out evidence of a bribery scheme?
Senator, I would add also that we've worked with the House Oversight Committee.
Yeah, this is the Senate. We're the other side of the Capitol. This is the Senate. Do you have those 17 recordings?
I'm not going to comment on any investigative matters, Senator.
See, I'm not going to comment on the investigative. Right there. F you. But Cruz is smarter.
That's the problem. The FBI, and I've had this conversation with Chris Wray too, this is why you are damaging the institution. The American people have a right to know whether there is serious, credible evidence that the President of the United States took a $5 million bribe. And by
I think so. You just show up and say, no, it's not true. This is the evidence. Bye-bye.
the way, if it's false, Chairman Durbin just rolled his eyes. If Chairman Durbin were interested in the rule of law, we would have a hearing on these allegations. But of course, the Democrats don't want a hearing on these allegations. And to be clear, if the allegations are false, you know who could disprove them? Joe Biden. He could call for this to be released publicly.
That's true. That's true. I have nothing to hide. You know, remember when an officer stops you on the highway and says, can you step out of the vehicle, please? Okay, do you mind that you have your permission or whatever authorization to look into your vehicle? And you can say no. And you're going to say, why? Are you hiding anything? No, for my own protection and my own, I don't want you to look. Well, you're hiding. That's suspicious right there. No, it's just my right to say F off. But this guy says, are you hiding something, Biden?
The FBI is stonewalling.
Stonewalling, that's the word now. Is going to catch the weasel.
Would you agree?
Two things, Senator. No one's stonewalling. The 1023
You just said you refused
was
to answer the
provided in response to a subpoena.
Okay, then why did you refuse to answer my question?
The pertinent information is there, and I reject your assertion that the
Why
FBI
did you refuse
is
to answer my
politicized.
question?
I just answered your question.
Okay, so yes, you have a 1023. Do you have the 17 recordings? Yes or no?
I'm not going to get further into this.
So you're stonewalling. You can't say I'm not refusing to answer your question, but I won't answer your question.
I'm going to answer within the parameters that we operate in.
We operate. See what's going to catch you. What parameters are you operating within?
Problem. The FBI has right now an unlimited hubris that you believe you are unaccountable. You don't believe you're accountable to the United States Congress, and you don't believe you're accountable to the American people. And you are doing damage. The FBI is a great institution. When I go home to Texas, people ask me, should we abolish the FBI? Now, I tell them no, because you have heroes and patriots working for you.
Correct.
That are catching child predators, that are catching terrorists. But you're sitting there happily erecting a wall to protect Joe Biden. Will you provide to this committee, not the House, the Senate Judiciary Committee, will you provide the FD 1023 and will you provide the 17 recordings so we can assess what is the evidence, the specific credible evidence that Joe Biden personally took a $5 million bribe
If you want to know
from
the
a foreign
truth,
national?
you will release it.
Senator, we will work with this committee, you and other members, to provide the information within the parameters of the process.
Will you provide the FD 1023, yes or no?
I will take that back and we will work with our
So you're not
team.
answering that. Will you provide the 17 recordings?
We will take that back and we'll work with you.
So you're not answering that either. Did you investigate in any way, shape, or form these allegations?
That's a yes or no.
Senator, once again, I'm not going to comment.
So you're not going to say whether you did your job?
Correct.
We do our job to the very best of our ability.
Well, not here. You're not answering a single question to the American people. And you may think this is esoteric. I promise you, millions of Americans are concerned. You know who isn't concerned? Not a single Senate Democrat. We're going to go through this whole hearing. Not one Democrat will ask a question about this. You know who else isn't concerned? The corporate media, who is joining with the Democrats in covering up this evidence. If Joe Biden is innocent, the evidence should be made public and demonstrate that he's innocent. But if he is not, is it true this informant who alleged that he personally took a bribe was an informant the FBI had relied upon previously in other investigations? Yes or no?
I'm not going to comment.
Senator, in each and every investigation that we have, all the work that we do,
I asked you
the
a yes or no
expectation
question.
is that every logical avenue investigation be pursued.
I asked you a
to
yes
its
or no
fullest.
question. Are you going to answer it?
Yeah, I'm answering your question.
Was the informant one you had relied on previously in other investigations?
Yes or no?
Senator, we run down every piece of information.
You're not answering it then. You're refusing to answer.
Objectively,
So you're refusing to answer the
to the
question.
fullest extent possible.
You're refusing to answer the question.
relentlessly,
Is that correct?
aggressively, and all in-
Now, you tell me, my friends, if you think that this person that is right here on the screen is honest. I understand he has policies and procedures and protocols that he has to follow. But if those protocols and those procedures are meant, or in this case are used, I think, to hide the truth, or at least the quest for the truth, I think something is wrong with the system. Maybe not with him. Maybe he can't say certain things. Maybe he would like to, but if he says that, he's going to be in big trouble, violating this protocol, that policy. I know that. Okay, I know that. So, I don't know exactly. He could pick different words over here, like he could say, well, the policy 325/FU doesn't allow me to disclose this information, and he would hide behind the protocol or the whatever provision he has, but he doesn't hide behind that. He's, we can't, we do as you, blah, blah, blah. That's how you do. You say, okay, my protocol, my whatever department I work for doesn't allow me. It would be for me, and you can be ordered to disclose information, and then you have nothing. But this guy doesn't have the desire, Federal Bureau of Investigations, to find the truth. No, and he's not answering the questions. And by the way, you saw how the guy was just going up and down. Now this is the level, and he's not very smart. You can look at his facial expression, and you can pick up when he's cornered, when he's stressed, when probably he's not telling the truth. When he's stressed, that's the main thing. You're not supposed to do that in your job if you're the creme de la creme, as I said, the best. And he is. He's the deputy FBI director. How much money he makes? How much information he can get if he wants on you or on I? I don't even want to get in that. How much power he has to question us, with in FISA or without a FISA court warrant, he can come and take care. He got 10 judges sign a warrant to come and speak with you, or whatever petition to allow him to take you out of your house and get you to the little section and department and discuss with you how long he wants. Unless you say, I want to see an attorney, I don't speak with you like this. Bye-bye. You. So, this is the level, my friends. This is the level. I'm interested in finding the truth. First, I would like to know if that guy did any hanky-panky with the Ukrainians or anybody else. I want to know if Trump did any hanky-pankies with the Russians or French or whomever. I want to find out. But it seems like we are very eager to find out only that direction, and more this one. You have these guys protecting. How would you call this? Would you call this the marsh? We can call the synonym, even though I know they're not synonyms, because swamp is one kind of thing and marsh is a different one. I learned in English. I think a swamp might have trees or something like this, or brushes. The other one doesn't have something, or the other way around. That's how I learned. But you see, I was not a good student. I can't remember exactly. Maybe you remember. I'm pretty sure when I ask you what's the difference between quick or fast, we say, oh, it's the same thing. Well, it's not. But anyway, I'm not saying you. I'm just trying to finish this video in a more neutral way, like in an interview. You try to finish it in a neutral way, positive. So next time when we meet, you don't hate me. All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. That's the level. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.